Okay. Is my voice fine now?
Yes, sir.
So, so you require a web server for running your website, and then for different language like PHP, you require PHP interpreter, and for Java, you require a application server, and so on. But then for security purpose, you require HTTPS to be enabled, and by default, any web server serves the pages on. Okay, I don't know what is the problem with Zoom. It keeps disconnecting. Okay, then we started with the HTML, and in HTML we went through all the important tags, especially like div, span, image, anchor, then all the form inputs. Now, today we will start with CSS. So,
Sir, your voice is breaking.
So your voice is not clear. Yes.
just a minute.
Sorry.
Okay, so we'll start with CSS today. Is the screen visible to everybody? Hello?
25 में आपने तो दूसरे को नहीं मिला।
Okay, can you hear now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
And is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll start now. So yesterday we learned about HTML. So how to represent each and every item like list, image, paragraph, a division, a span, form inputs. So, but as you saw yesterday, it was all uh, like alignment problem, color was not good, or looks was not good. So plain HTML looks doesn't care for look. So for look, we use cascaded style sheet, CSS. So CSS gives us properties in terms of key value pair, which we can change. Key value means like background color red, border 1 pixel size, or and so on. So all those things we can change. All those properties we can change so that our page looks good. And also it can be used for defining the template of the website, so that we can really focus on like if it's say like Facebook page, so one side advertisement should come, one side post should come, one side the menu should come. So all those things, alignment and template, creating a template for the website can be easily done using CSS. So now, to add a CSS, we have multiple ways. So one way is that we can create a file with the extension CSS, and in that we will write all the style properties, whatever we want to add, and then include that file into our main HTML file. Okay, so that is one way. Second way is that in HTML we have a style tag. So we have a style tag using which also we can define the CS properties. And then the third one is called inline property, in which inside a tag, we write the CSS as a attribute. So we write an attribute style equal to, and inside double quote, we will write all the properties. Okay. So let us see an example. So suppose I create a div, and I will write something. This is a div. Now I will start from backward. So what I will do, I will write some style set in inline mode. So here I will add a style equal to, and then I will write border 1 pixel, solid, and suppose blue violet. Okay. Now let us see how does this look like. So you can see that this is a div, and it has a border of the color blue violet. And if you remember yesterday, the concept of block element. So block element starts in a new line and then covers the entire width. So the border has covered the entire width. So this is example of inline. Now we'll move to internal. So I will use a style tag, and inside a style tag, I will write div, which tells that for whom I am changing the property, and then curly braces, and inside curly braces I will have to write the properties. So first we need to write the tag for which we need to change the property. and after that curly braces, and inside curly braces all the properties will be written in terms of key value pair. So like color, which is for text color, red. Okay, so only one property I'm changing for now. We'll see all these properties later. Just now I want only to demonstrate you how to use an internal style sheet. Now let us see what is the change now. So now the color of the text is red. So this is internal. Now we'll move on to third one, which is external. So we have a CSS folder. Inside that, let me delete the earlier one. So inside CSS, I will create one file. So I will create one file, style.css. And inside style.css, I will write a div. And then this time, what should I change? Okay, so suppose I change padding. So padding 10 pixel. Okay, so what is padding? So if you remember, padding is the distance between the text and the boundary, the border. So from this border to the text, that difference is called padding. Okay, so div, and I have added padding. Now let us see if it works. No, it did not work. Why? Because we created a style sheet, but we have not linked that style sheet to our HTML page. So how will our HTML page know that I have to change the property? So for that, we will go back to our index.html, and I will link that page. Now you can see the padding, that is the distance from the border to the text, has increased. Okay, so this is the three type of how we can add a style sheet. So first we saw inline, in which in the tag itself I added a style and a style equal to, and then inside that I wrote the property. So like property is border and the value is 1 pixel solid and blue violet. Second method was internal, in which there is a style tag. Inside that I will first write the name of the tag for which I want to change the property. And then inside that I change the color. Color represents the text color. Now third part was using an external style sheet. So for which I used I created a CSS file inside CSS folder, and I changed the padding of the div. Again, I went back to my HTML, and I have to include that style.css into my HTML so that my HTML page knows how to style as per the style.css. After adding, and then we ran, and the padding was increased. So these are the three ways of how we can add a style sheet to our HTML document. Okay, is it clear? Any doubt till now? Sasank, did you come today only? Didn't you come yesterday? Okay. So basically, for running a website, you need to set up a web server. And yesterday I told you that you should install XAMPP on your system. XAMPP will have Apache web server plus MySQL and PHP. Then once you install all those things, the one important part is the document root. So document root is the folder where you need to put your website. So like if you are installing XAMPP in Windows, it will be in C XAMPP htdocs. If you are using XAMPP in Linux, then it will be /opt lamp htdocs. That is the thing. Okay, so basically rel property defines the relationship. So like we saw yesterday that when we used fab icon, we said that this relationship is icon. Similarly, for a style sheet, we use rel. So rel is basically relationship, which tells that the file which I am linking to the website, what kind of file it is. Okay, fine. So so this is done. So we learned that how we can apply the CSS into our HTML page. So 3 ways are there: external, internal, inline. And then all the CSS properties are written in way in terms of property and the value. Okay, so property and value. Next. Now, so okay, so one question is that is it not necessary to use head body HTML tag? Well, technically you do not need. So even if you can see that I have not used it, but still it is working. So it will work, but a good because this is only for demonstration purpose. But a good practice of developing any website is that you use the web structure, that is the using HTML doc type, then head and body. So it is recommended to do that, but even if you don't do, it will work. Okay, so next thing is that when I'm using inline style sheet, like, so if I am using inline style sheet, okay, I'll go back to index.html. Okay, so if I use inline style sheet, so we know that this style will be applicable to this div. Okay, but when I am using any external style sheet or even the internal one, then I need to specify that this particular rule will be applicable to which element. Okay, so like here I used a tag div. It means that it will be applicable to all the div on the page. So if I have another div, so if I have another div, for that also the color will be red, but border won't be, because border is only applied directly to the this particular div. So this is second div. You can see color is red, padding is also there, but the border is not there. Okay, so inline, so therefore inline, so we came to know that basically the inline style sheet is applicable only to the div, only to the tag where it is applied. But for any external or even internal style, we need to specify the CSS selector. So this is called CSS selector. Okay, so CSS selector is basically the element to which the properties will be applied. Okay, now just like div, if I have a paragraph and if I write paragraph and color equal to green, so this will apply the green color to all the paragraph type. So if I have a paragraph type here, paragraph, and this is green paragraph, So you can see that the paragraph color is green. Why? Because I have used a style color green on the paragraph element P. Okay. Now let us move on to next thing. So next is that if I want to apply any style to a specific element. So one way is that I write an inline style. Second way is using an ID or identifier. So I will use an ID, and suppose I give it a name, second div. Okay, and then for this second div I will write special properties. So how to denote an ID? For that we use hash. So hash second div. Okay, so this hash is used to denote an ID. So ID is a unique identifier for an element. Yeah, I'll just go to that. So ID is an unique identifier for one single element. So in a particular value, second div, it should not be repeated for any other div on the page or any other tag on the page. Now for second div, I am changing the color to yellow. Okay, now, so second div, instead of red, it is yellow, but yellow is not clearly visible. So we'll change it to something else like orange. Okay, so first thing we learned is that if I use tag name, then it will be applicable to all the elements on that page. So all the div element will have the same color if I have changed the color. Now if I want to change property of a single element, so either I can use inline, like here I have used inline, or I should use an identifier ID. And I will, how do I write an ID? So I write ID equal to and then some unique name, second div. And for writing a style sheet, we use hash for ID and then whatever value was there second div, and then inside curly braces I will write the properties. Okay. Now third thing, so if I use ID, only a single element property will be changed. But suppose that I want to, this is second paragraph, this is third paragraph, now no ID is so Raksha question is, can we use single ID for two tags like div and paragraph? No, ID is for unique identification, so no. Now let me go to other thing, you will understand everything. Now second thing is that if I want to suppose that I have 4 paragraphs and I want to change color of more than one but not all. For all I can simply use P, but I do not want to change for all, rather like 2 or 3. Okay, so for that we use class. So how to write a class? So we write class equal to some name, like there we put second div, here I can put like my para, some name, and then same my para I can repeat for any other paragraph which I want to change. And how do I write a property? So just like hash was for a unique identifier, for class we use dot, and after dot I will write the name of the class. So my para and then I will write the property. So like for my para, I am putting border 1 pixel dotted, and then suppose red. So class is for changing properties of more than one. No, there is no, the name is class sensitive. You can check it. Now you can see that for number 1 and 3rd, the border style has changed. Okay, so this is class. So first thing we learned about div or paragraph means using directly the tag. If I use directly the tag, it will be applicable for all the elements on the page. Second was using an identifier. Now identifier is for unique. So ID will be only applicable for one element. And how to represent an ID? So we use hash. And then the final one was using class, and class is for only a unique class is for more than one element but not all. Yes, so Varad is asking, but property of PID is also inheritance. See, I have written two properties. One is for color and one is for border. So of course, P will be applicable to all the paragraph. But in addition to that, in extra, I have for particular class, I have added border. So both will be applicable. So unless, see, if two things are contradictory, it means that here I have set color green and here I have set color red, then there will be a contradiction. Now how to resolve that contradiction, we'll learn later. First, let me cover this all. So if the properties are different, like here color is there, here border is there, so both will be applicable. Just a minute. यार वो एडोब स्कैनर नाम से है ना, उसमें तो आगे ना ईमेल। Okay, so this is okay. Next, so next one is that if I want the property of two of the tag to be similar, then I can use comma. So if I want the color of div and p both to be red, so I can write div comma p, so it will be applicable to both. Okay, is it clear? So let's see. So you can see that div as well as the paragraph all have the red color. Okay, so comma is for both, so it will be applicable to both the tags. Done. Now next. Now okay, here itself I can make changes. Now suppose I have a div and inside this div I have a paragraph. and this is paragraph inside div. Now, so in this scenario, what I want is that the children of div paragraph, all the paragraph which are children of div, I want to change property for them. So how do I write it? So div space p. Okay. So div space p, it says that all the descendant, all the paragraph which are inside div, all the paragraph which are inside div, they may be direct child or maybe inside. Like inside div span is there, is inside a span paragraph is there, but ultimately the paragraph is inside the div. So then in that case, the color should be like black. So this property div comma paragraph, it will change the color to all, div also, paragraph also. But this div space p, it will only change for that paragraph which is inside a div. So only this first paragraph which is inside the div, for only this one the color will be changed. Let us see. So see, this is paragraph inside div and it is the in black color. Okay, so I will repeat again. So if I write two tags by spacing like div space paragraph p, it means that change property of paragraph which is inside the div. So it may be like inside div I can add like block quote. And then inside p, still it will work. So still it is a black. Now second thing is, this is for paragraph, parent is block quote and ancestor is div. So this is for ancestor relationship. If I want to change for direct child, then I will have to use this. So if I have to change for this particular only the direct child, then we use this operator, greater than. And then I will write color blue. But in our page, there is no paragraph which is direct child of paragraph. So sorry, div. So I will add div, and inside that one direct child paragraph, and this is direct child of div. This para is direct child of div. So can you see that this is blue color, this is black color, and remaining all are red color. So to repeat, div comma p comma operator, it will set for all tags. Greater than operator, it will only change for the child paragraph, which is direct child of div. And this div space p, it will change for all paragraph which is the descendant of div, means inside div it is at any level. Okay, is it clear? Block quote, yesterday I told you block quote is just for putting a quotation for some person. So like Mahatma Gandhi said something and we put it into quotation. So it does nothing. It adds some margin and adds some indentation from the starting, and it will appear like this. It won't start from the start. It's just for quotations. Like this is a small quotation. So inside double quote, I have put this paragraph. And that was block quote, which makes an indentation and then uses the quotation. Okay, now next. Now, one important thing is that for commenting in a style sheet. So how do I comment? So we use slash asterisk, and then at the end we'll use asterisk slash. So this will comment all the style sheet. Please repeat, div is greater than p. Yes, so greater than symbol means it will be the immediate child of div. So the paragraph is directly inside div. But second example was that div paragraph was not directly inside div, but rather inside a queue which is inside div. So it means that paragraph is a descendant of div. Okay, so in case of descendant of div, we use a space, div space paragraph, and instead of, if we only want to apply to direct child, then we'll use div greater than p. So for comment we use this. Next, so next is using div plus p. So plus is used for siblings which are on the same level. So like this div and this paragraph, they are on the same level. So plus is used for adjacent sibling which are on the which are just next to each other. Like after this div, this paragraph is there. So div plus p color green. So all are see, so all are black except for that paragraph which is sibling of direct adjacent sibling of the div. So this is the adjacent sibling of div. So we use plus. And then next one is div tilde p. So it is for any sibling. So it was immediate or adjacent sibling, and this was for any sibling. So suppose I put color orange. So any paragraph which is a sibling of div. So like if you see, all the paragraphs are sibling of div because they are at the same level. So you can see that all have now changed to orange color. Okay, so that was first thing. Now we'll move to second.html. Okay, div greater than p is paragraph which is a child of div, direct child, because you can see here the paragraph is inside div. Okay, inside div, direct child, but here it is inside div but not directly, because Inside the div, there is a queue, and then inside that paragraph is there. So this is descendant, this is direct child. Now plus is for like div plus p. So p is a paragraph which is adjacent to a div. Adjacent meant directly after that. Okay, like this paragraph, it is after div but not directly. This is the adjacent one. So plus means paragraph which is adjacent to the div, or adjacent sibling of div. And here any sibling of div. Tilde means any sibling. So like all the paragraphs are on the same level of div. Okay, one other way of okay, just a minute, I will try something. Okay, now let us look at this image. We'll only focus on this part. So basically any HTML document, it is a inverted tree structure, ulta inverted tree structure. So on the top there is a HTML, and HTML has two child, body and body and head. Now inside body you can write div, paragraph, article, headers, anything, image. Now, now consider this H2, which is header 2, which is a direct child of article because it has been written inside article. And it is a descendant of main. It is not the child of, so H2 is not a child of main, rather a descendant of main, because it is on the same line of, it is on the same lineage. And H2 and P, they are adjacent siblings because one has been written after another. But H2 and the second P, they are only normal siblings because they are all on the same level. They have the common parent. Now with this image, I think it will be clear that which all are siblings, then what is the direct child, what is a descendant or ancestors. So for H2, ancestors are article, main, body, HTML. For HTML, child is body, but descendants are main, article, H2, P, all P. So this is how it works. Which one is best method to use CSS properties, like external or internal? Now, well, for organizing the code, it is better to use external. But even if you use internal, it won't have any problem. Only thing is your one page will be quite lengthy. Okay, so we have come to next one. So next one is using pseudo classes. Okay, so how do we define pseudo classes? So we define pseudo classes using colon. Okay, so colon, and then suppose I write here hover. So this class this is a pseudo class. This is not actual class. If you remember, actual class is using dot operator. Now this is a pseudo class which says that on anchor, if someone hovers, hover means takes the mouse on top of it. So if someone hovers, what to do? So what property can we change? So suppose if someone hovers, I want to change the color to orange. Okay, now let us see this. Can you see this? So if I am taking my mouse over this hover, the color is changing. So this is called pseudo class. There are a few pseudo class like active, link, visited, hover. So you can use this depending on the situation. Like, have you seen tooltips? Tooltips is like when I take it here, some information is appearing. So this is tooltip. So tooltip can be implemented using hover. So this tooltip can be implemented using hover, means someone takes their mouse to that element, so some text will appear. So as an assignment, we'll check how to create a tooltip. So this is pseudo class. Now next is pseudo element. Now for pseudo element, suppose I use a paragraph. This is a paragraph, and I will repeat this because I don't want to type longer stories. And then I will. Okay, now this is the paragraph. Oh, good enough. Now, so for this paragraph, what I want is, I want to define a pseudo element. So what is a pseudo element? So suppose how to write a pseudo element. So paragraph and double colon. So double colon and first line. Suppose I am using first line. So it says that change the property of the first line of the paragraph. So first line is not an element. Element is like paragraph or div or anchor. But here it is a pseudo element. We have defined like, okay, this is also like an element only. So for pseudo element, change the color to green. So, so only the first line color will be green. Okay, can you see this? So this is green, remaining all are black. Next, first letter. So first letter, what I want is font size. I want to increase this font size to suppose 20 pixel and color to red. Okay, so now let us see. So you can see that the T is in red color with a bigger font size. So this is a pseudo element, first line, first color, then others are also there, like before, after, selection. Yeah, selection, one more important. Like paragraph and selection. Selections means if someone selects, like for copy pasting, you select some text. So if you select the text, what will happen? So for selection, change background color to pink and color to, on pink, what will be the best color? Red. No, first letter is already, okay, fine. Just for demonstration. So P selection, background color will be pink and color will be red. Let us see. So if I select any part, okay, can you see that background color is pink and the color of the text is red. So these are pseudo elements. Now we can apply this pseudo element on input also. So suppose input type equal to checkbox, and then name equal to something, suppose interests. I will just repeat it. So I have basically 4 checkbox, and first one like Java, then AWP, controllers, Java, then AWP, then data structure, then PHP. So I have 4 checkbox. And if I make a selection, there is no change for now. But I can, if I want it to be changing, so what I will do is, there is another class. So input checked. So if something is checked, what should we do? So suppose I increase the font size for now. So font size maybe 30 pixel. So if any input box is checked, its font size will increase to 30 pixel. Now if I select this AWP, oops, did it work? Just a minute. Okay, so basically what happens is, not all properties can be changed. I just remember not all properties can be changed using these pseudo classes. So there is a limitation on what properties can be changed using any pseudo class or using any pseudo element. So like for checked, I want to change height to 20 pixel or maybe 50 pixel. So I can change the height. I can change the width also. So suppose I change the width to 30 pixel. Okay. So in that case, I will again repeat. Okay. So this is how it can be done. Fine. So so we covered one was CSS selector. So in his first selector was a normal selectors, like all the tags. Then we learned about identifier, which is for a unique element. Then class is for more than one element but not all. And then third, and after that learned about siblings, descendant, direct child. Then pseudo elements like hover, checked, sorry, pseudo classes hover checked, and pseudo elements. Now, next we will be learning about attribute selector. Same slash asterisk, commenting the line slash asterisk. Okay, so next is attribute selector. Now, we'll go to anchor again. So anchor 1, so I've created 3 anchors, and now I'm using target equal to blank. Okay, so basically what is a target property? So target property opens the link in a next page. So if I click on this, it will open in a new page. But if I click on anchor 2 or anchor 3, it will open on the same page. Okay, so target underscore blank is for opening the link into a new page in a new tab basically. Okay, so attribute selector is for selecting the attribute. So suppose I want to change the color of the link. First, let me remove the hover. Now I want to change the link whose attribute so I want to change the property of anchor whose target is underscore blank. So what I want to change is color black or red. So as of now, only one anchor is whose target is underscore blank. So let us see. So only for the first one, the property has been changed. So now the color is red. Okay. Now we'll move on to Okay, so what I was trying to do here is that sometimes question is that I want to change the property of everybody but not paragraph. So in that case I will use this not uh, uh, so this not pseudo class can be used for that. So syntax is simply colon not and then the paragraph for which you do not want to apply the properties. Okay, so not p and font size 25. So except for the paragraph, everybody's property will be changed to this font size 25 pixel. Why we placed the target in a style set in this? Can we use target to change property of only one anchor with pseudo class? Yes. See, there are multiple ways of changing anything. So, like if you have something to match in the property. So, like I was matching the property target equal to underscore blank. So I used attribute selector. Otherwise, for tags we use ID or classes. Yes, we can use combination of that. We can use pseudo class as well as the attribute selector. So suppose let us see if this works. So we have two targets blank anchor and so did you see this? So I used a combination of pseudo class and the property. So what was written that target is blank, it is fine, but also we should hover on the link, then only color will be red. So it is using combination of two. So target is blank. Now see, for second one the color is not changing because target is not blank, but the third one and the first one it is changing. Okay. Next, why we place the target in a style sheet in this? Because target is an attribute, and for attribute matching we use this big bracket. So if we want to match any attribute, then we will use big bracket for matching the attribute. Anant, got it? Okay, good. So now we'll move on to our next part. So third .html. So see, selector is very important. Okay, so selector, especially ID and class, is too much important. So tomorrow, if you are going to program using jQuery, so jQuery, if you want to apply any effect, you have to use selector. So your selector concept should be quite clear. So what you can do is on a W3 school, you can go read about selectors, and then there is a practice try yourself where you can change multiple settings and see what is the effect. Okay, now we will move on to, so this everything has been completed. Now we'll move on to properties. So now there are two kind of properties. Okay, so div So I have created one paragraph inside a div, and for the div I have written the property color equal to red. Okay, now you can see that I changed the property for the div, but paragraph also became red. So, so what is the concept? The concept is that some of the CSS properties can be inherited. Okay, so if parent has that property already written, like font size, font color, um, all those things. So some of the properties can be inherited by the child also, because he is inside div. Can you mute yourself? Okay, so back to work. So this paragraph is inside a div, and its color has also changed to red, though I only changed for div. So it means that some of the properties can be inherited from the parent or even ancestors. So some of the properties like color, font size, font family, line height, text align, list style, all those properties can be inherited. But some of the properties like width, height, border, margin, padding, position, float, these are not inheritable. Okay, so this won't be inherited. And there is an exception for anchor element, that it doesn't inherit color and text decoration. So like color can be inherited usually, but anchor element doesn't inherit color. Okay, so that is one thing. Now we'll move on to next part. So now for this div, we'll start with, let us start with one anchor. So anchor h reference equal to something second.html, and click here to go to second page. Okay, what is the question? Asterisk, it is universal, it will be applicable to everyone. Okay, so anchor. So for this anchor, I am trying to set a border. So first I will start with border. Now border and background color, two things we will see here. So first let me change the background color and tomato, well, border. Now border, if you see there, border, how can I set border? So there are multiple things. So one is border size. Okay, so border size can be like 1 pixel, 2 pixels. So how thick the border should be, that is the border size. Okay, so border, so I can write 2 pixel, suppose, and then whether it will be solid or dotted. So I can write solid, and color, what will be the color? So third one is this. So this is basically called a shorthand notation to shorthand notation for border. So in one go I can change 2 pixel means the width, and I can change the type of the border, and then I can change the color of the border. Now, so this is a shorthand notation, and then we can go for one by one also. So suppose I delete this and I will go by border color. So border color is suppose black. Then I can go for border style. So whether it is dotted or suppose I go for dotted. Third is border width 2 pixel or 3 pixel. So let us see this. So we have a border dotted style. Okay, so not so good. And black color and 3 pixel. So this is 3 pixel width border. Now, so next question is that I want to change for different color for different border. Like there is a border on the top, there is a border on the left, right, and bottom. So how does it go? So how can I change the color of all 4? So it starts with top and goes into the clockwise direction. Top and clockwise. So top, suppose I want red, then after top it will be on the right hand side. So right hand side it will be like suppose black, or I will put blue. Then bottom, so bottom is suppose yellow or yellow green, and then black. On the left hand side I will use black. So these 4 colors will be on 4 sides of the border. So starting from top, left, bottom, sorry, top, right, bottom, and left. So clockwise direction. Just remember the clockwise direction starting from top. So different color. Top is red. Okay, right hand side is blue, bottom is green, and left hand side is black. Now same thing we can do with a style also. So a style is like solid on top, then dotted, suppose double, and then again dotted. So top, right, bottom, left. Okay, so on top it is solid, and on 2 sides, left and right, it is dotted, and the bottom it is double. So 2 lines are appearing, 2 borders are appearing. Now same thing can be done with for width also. So like top I want 2 pixel, left I want 3 pixel, below I don't want any, and then I want here 5 pixel. Okay, so below there is no, here it is 5 pixel, 3 pixel, 2 pixel, and below there is, I put 0, so there is no border at the bottom. Okay, so this is one style. Now same thing I will repeat, but this time I will use double notation. So like red and green, and then solid and dotted. Only 2 I am using. Okay, so how does it work? So I will repeat. So if I'm only using one, like only writing 2 pixel, it means for all sides it will become 2 pixel. If I'm using 4, so it will start from top and move in the clockwise direction. If I am using all 2, so it means first one will be for top and bottom, and second will be on for the left and right. Top and bottom, left and right. So you can see here. So top and bottom both are solid red, and left and right both are dotted green. And similarly, I can change this also. So left and right font size is 5 pixel for the border width, and top and bottom is only 2 pixel. So 3 ways. First way is single field, which will be applicable for all sides. Then there is uh, two field, in which first will be for top and bottom, and second will be for left and right. And then third way is for four values, in which it will start from top and move in the clockwise direction. So top, right, bottom, and left. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Now, so this was border. And usually we use sorted notation. So 2 pixel solid and suppose green. Okay, now so and now I am using two anchors. Okay, and I have set a border for them. Now for anchor one, so next concept is the padding and margin. So let us focus on padding first. So already I have covered that the distance from the border to the text, that is padding. So currently the padding is 0. So how can I increase the padding? So padding, and I can write like 5 pixel. So let us see. So the distance from border to the text has increased by 5 pixels. So this is padding. Now second one is margin. So margin is the distance between two element. So first anchor element and second anchor element, if you see, this is the distance between the two borders. Now I want to increase this, so I will use margin and then suppose 10 pixel. So the distance between the anchors will increase by 10 pixels. So this distance has increased. Okay, now again, just like border width did, padding and can also be written in 4 values or 2 values. Okay, so like and again it will be from top and moving in the clockwise direction. So on top 5 pixel, on right 10 pixel, then 15 pixel on bottom, and suppose 20 pixel on left hand side. So this is, you can see that this side the highest, then this, then this, then this. So padding is changing depending on what side I have chosen. And same for margin also. So margin can also be changed on all directions. But if you do not remember this notation, like how to put 4 values, which is the top or bottom, then you can use padding and then top. So padding top will be like 5 pixel. Padding left 10 pixel. Padding right 15 pixel. Padding bottom 20 pixel. So instead of using this shorthand notation padding, you can use individual property also, padding top, padding left, padding right, padding bottom, and same with margin. So margin also you can margin top, margin left, margin right, margin bottom, you can set. Okay.
Sir,
So
break time, sir.
So this is done, padding and margin, which is very important. Next, yeah, border, I forgot one important thing. So border, there is one important thing, border radius. So border radius, if I want to change the radius of the corners of the border, then I will use border radius property so that the corner appears rounded. So like if I am putting 5 pixel, and let us see how rounded it is. So now this is rounded corner. So this is the radius of the corner of the border. Okay, so we'll break now and be back by 10:45.